The young Hungarian Hasidim were enjoying a Farbrengen, and soon started boasting about their respective Rebbes. My Rebbe, one curly-haired youth proclaimed, the holy Zidichover was so great, he personally knew the hidden Tzaddikim. That's nothing, another retorted. My father told me that the old Rebbe, the Yismach Moshe, knew the 36 Tzaddikim. In the midst of this good-natured bickering, the Rebbe of their own hometown walked in. His name was Rebbe Yeshayah Kerestirer. Now, Rebbe Yeshayah may have been the local rabbi, but he was quite extraordinary. He possessed amazing powers as a Rebbe. Every bracha he ever gave came true, and even during his own lifetime, people reported that he would appear to them in their dreams with a message. He had overheard the claims of these young Hasidim, and joining the Farbrengen, said to them,
Now let me tell you about a certain Lamed Vovnik. His name is Red Yankala from Berlin. This story, which happened many years ago, has since become legendary. At the time, all of Hungary was talking about it. It was a very cold and difficult winter that year, and as you know, weather conditions sometimes make even the simplest necessities of life hard to get. Now it goes without saying that in honor of the Holy Shabbos, a Yiddish tish must have fish. But already that year, the rare commodity of fish was especially scarce. So that Friday, when there were no fish to be found in Kerestir, the Hasidim were beside themselves. It was getting late, so I asked if there was anyone willing to go to the neighboring city to try to obtain some. One of the Hasidim couldn't bear to neglect the mitzvah of eating fish on Shabbos. He was the one to volunteer. He trudged all the way over to the big town, but to his dismay, even there were no fish to be found. It was late. Feeling that he had failed in his mission, the Chassid hurried back home on foot. And as he was briskly walking down the road, he spied a fancy carriage coming towards him, with what seemed to him a Jewish nobleman riding inside. As the horses were called to a halt alongside him, the nobleman asked the Chassid if he could use a ride. Thankfully, the Chassid climbed aboard. Once inside, the Jewish nobleman asked him,
Why do you look so distressed, my friend? Maybe I can help you in some way. Tell me, what is it that you need?
At first, the Chassid tried to avoid the question. He thought to himself,
This man seems very kind, but he couldn't possibly help us. It's not terribly likely that he would be carrying fish in this elegant carriage, and he probably wouldn't understand our Rebbe's urgent need for fish for Shabbos. So why bother him with an explanation?
But the rich Jew pressed him to speak.
It's almost Shabbos and I have no fish to bring back to my Rebbe. He sent me personally, and now I'm coming home empty-handed.
Is that all? Why didn't you say so before? I just happen to have some extra fish right here. Oh, and please tell Yeshayah that I sent it to him for Shabbos. I'm known as the Red Yankala from Berlin. Explain to him also that I was in a hurry. I must get to Berlin before Shabbos.
They arrived at the entrance to our town. Our Chassid jumped out of the wagon, and before he could even say goodbye and thank you, the carriage was far off in the distance. For a moment he stood, speechless. As you all know, Berlin is in the center of Germany, far away from Hungary. By fast train, it takes more than 20 hours to get from our town Kerestir to Berlin. But soon, joyously, the Chassid ran back to Kerestir to deliver the fish to us before Shabbos. When he arrived, I was already outside waiting for him. Yasher Koyach Reb Yid, I called to him. Thank you. Thank you so much. So you saw the Red Yankala, one of the Lamed Vav Tzaddikim, and he gave you fish. Where are they? Wonderful. And tell me, did he tell you anything after that? Oh, that he has to be in Berlin before Shabbos. No. That was the best Shabbos we have ever seen in Kerestir, with fish provided for us through the mission of a Lamed Vavnik. And what of the holy tzaddik, the Red Yankala, you ask? I'm sure you weren't too worried. He made it back to Berlin with time enough to enjoy fish at his own Shabbos tish.